Hello, everyone. My name is Kaze, and today I'm going to be talking about Comic Con HQ. It's this new website and mobile app that's going to have basically all the panel discussions that happen at Comic Con, and it's also going to have original programming. So some of the like I haven't seen all the shows, but I've basically seen most of it. So some of the shows that I'm gonna be like taking a look at are Film HQ, Endgame, Blame It on Science. There's a couple other shows like Her Universe 2015, The Comics Trip, and there's Con Man. I don't think that's out yet. And Mostly Harmless, which I didn't really get a chance to see, but mostly I'm just gonna be going over some of the original content that's on the show, like on the website, and you can access all that stuff from the mobile app. So one of the first shows that I'm gonna be looking at are Blame It on Science. First off, the title doesn't really make a lot of sense considering what I think the show is supposed to be about. And I kind of don't. I think the show doesn't really know what it wants to be. Like, there's an interview portion, there's sort of like a news portion, but I'm not really sure. Like, the title for me just is not connecting. One of the good things is they do have one of NASA scientists is one of the hosts on the show. I think he's an engineer, so like the show has some cred, but like overall, like the show tries to have this like little jokes and little quirks along the show, and it doesn't really connect, in my opinion. Once again, it's good to have like a scientist on the show, but the female host kind of ends up getting in the way of the show sometimes, and I don't really know why she's there. And basically, in the end, there's just better content on YouTube for free. One of the YouTube channels I like to look at periodically is the Sci Show. I believe that's being produced by one of the Vlog brothers. The video clips aren't as long as they're not like 10 minutes long, but they're the production value is really great, and you get great information. So yeah, I'm just not quite sure what this particular show is supposed to be. The next show that I was mostly interested in is the show called Endgame. So the show is supposed to be sort of what they say. It's supposed to be a smart conversation about games, like games and culture or something like that. And the word that comes to mind with this show is inauthentic. Like, there's some bad writing. The hosts don't really have a good chemistry with each other. It just seems overly produced and really fake. Like, the conversations they have on the show, they kind of end up being boring and not that much depth to it, in my opinion. The interview section is really the only interesting thing about it. They had like Jane McGonigal and the guy that made the Atari, and like once again, like you can get there's a lot of good video game commentary on YouTube already. I know I'm trying to do video game commentary, but there's other great channels on YouTube that you can get for free that are just much better. For example, Extra Credits, Total Biscuit does his thing, Jim Sterling. I don't particularly watch those guys. Like, I watch them sometimes, but a YouTube channel like Extra Credits that's run by James Portnow and I think like Daniel Floyd. Their videos are about less than 10 minutes long, and they go into many different subjects like game writing, MMOs, academic stuff, like a whole host of issues, and you get a lot more information and sort of thought provoking discussions and discussing of issues from that channel than from this Endgame show. Like the executive producer, I think they said was Adam Sessler, and I'm kind of surprised that he would sign off on this because it seems kind of weird because back when G4 was around, Adam Sessler did a show called Feedback. It was one of my favorite shows when G4 was around, and the G4 host would sit around a table and talk about the games that are out and like what their opinions were. In my opinion, this is me. I think Adam Sessler is at his best when he's not doing something scripted. Like I know he was the host of X Play with Morgan Webb, and although I liked the show, I think Adam Sessler was just like really awkward during the whole thing. But when he started doing this like feedback show, and then later on when he left, he did like another show on Destructoid. I think that's a channel. I don't know. I forgot the name of it, but he did another show where just like he did his own commentary on stuff. I think that's where Adam Sessler is at his best, and I kind of think that's where if Endgame is supposed to be something, that's what it should be. It also, I don't think the hosts are very. They're not like clicking with me at least. If you want a show about video games, game design, and some of the issues, I'm surprised they didn't look at a YouTube channel like Extra Credits or talk to Total Biscuit or Jim Sterling. Like maybe ask them advice, ask them to come on board. I'm a little surprised, but I guess that they can't do that right now. So yeah, like kind of a disappointment. Another show that Adam Sessler is involved in is the show called Adam Sessler and the Interesting People. This is sort of a normal interview show where he just talks to interesting people. It's pretty straightforward. I did enjoy it, so that's something. There's tons of interviews online with really famous people already, and you can pretty much find it if you just Google search. If you Google search those kind of type of things, where the place of the show is in terms of like other shows that you could find. I'm just not like really sure where to place it. The next show I just want to quickly go over. I don't think it's a show, but it's something called Her Universe. It was called like Her Universe 2015 Highlights. I'm guessing it's just the show about pageant, and it's mainly about sort of a fashion show for geeks, I guess. And it sort of just highlights. I'm guessing mostly female fashion designers that are geeks, and they base their fashion on something in geek culture like anime, video games, and novels and stuff like that. I don't know if it'll actually turn into something, but they probably should have. What they probably should have is a show. I think it was on the Sci-Fi Channel. It was called Heroes of Cosplay, and that show was actually interesting. Even though I don't cosplay myself, but it's interesting to see each person designing their costume, having an idea, making it, and whatever drama that occurs while they're doing, and then getting to the demonstration of their costume. They should probably do that for this Her Universe thing. Maybe down the road they'll try and do that, but that would be an interesting thing to see. The next one I want to go to is Film HQ. Now, this is the one where they have John Campea as the main host, along with John Schnepp, and I think they're going to be bringing different guest hosts on. So, overall, I think it's a good show. I mean, I like John Campea. He's a great host and talking about films and stuff, and I really enjoy his opinion. Sometimes John's personality can be a little bit dominating at times, like certain times, and he doesn't give enough, I would say, speaking time to the other hosts. I would say, like, if I were talking to John Cape, I would say, say what you need to say, but sort of give some time to the other hosts that I know that they're guest hosts, but like give them some time, just a little like nitpicky thing. Overall, it's a good show. One of the first episodes, they were interviewing the Russo brothers, which was really cool to see. So, yeah, just overall good show. And that's pretty much it. That's I think Con Man. I don't think it's out right quite yet, and the comic strip has John Schnepp on it, and it's basically just a show about like comic book stores talking about comics and stuff. So that's pretty interesting. Hopefully the show hopefully he's going to travel to different comic book stores and see how they work and what their culture is. So that can be interesting. And so overall, when the beta is over, will Comic Con HQ be worth your money? So as of right now, I would say no. And this is based on not the quantity of the content, but the quality of the content. The only really valuable show that's on here is really just Film HQ, and that's really only because John Campion and John Snepp are on it, and that's it. There's nothing really. The other shows just don't appeal to me, and I can find better content on YouTube for free. And that's just no two ways about it. Just it's just one show, and I don't think it's worth paying money for this one show that's really really good. Like I really like John Campia and John Snepp being on that show, but me paying something, me paying for that show monthly, like I think the price is going to be like $5 to $10. I'm not sure exactly on the price. I'll have to look it up, but I just don't see myself paying that much money for just one show that I have to check into another website or a mobile app to go to, when I can just go to YouTube, get a list of all the channels that I view and see which one has new content on it and just click on it really easily. I'm just not quite sure where Comic Con HQ fits in other than providing the panel discussions from the conventions. And as soon as the convention panel discussions get posted, then I can see where paying money for it would definitely be a good idea. So that's my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like my commentary, please rate, comment, and subscribe. And I will catch you guys later.